What's up, friends? Welcome back to Josh's Journey, my bi-weekly vlog, and just kind of back again to document kind of the progress in the last couple weeks. It's been an eventful and busy couple weeks. I essentially decided to just finish out the Blender class. I talked about in the past video that I was going to put the Blender class to the side and start on Maya, which is another 3D program, so that I can get that head start on the Anim School program, so I could skip the Intro to Maya class and hopefully other classes. But I just wasn't as far along, and I just felt more motivated to finish the Blender class. One of the reasons is because the Maya program isn't necessarily for like sculpting as much as it is for modeling, which there's a slight difference in those two things. So they work hand in hand, but the sculpting side is more conducive for like characters. So in Blender, you can sculpt the character and then kind of use the modeling tools to like model a what's called like a low res or low poly version of that, which enables you to animate these characters without taxing too much on your computer or so on. So because effectively what these digital sculptures are made out of is like a bunch of little triangles and squares and polygons. That's why they call it low poly versus high poly. So, but to get to a nice sculpt, you have to do it in high poly first, and then you kind of have to go to the low poly and then kind of create another high poly to like map and create the textures. Anyway, it's a long process. And this Blender class, I finally finished it. It was something that it's like a 22-hour class by Nextut, Nexttut, on Skillshare, and it took me like 3-4 weeks. And that was just because, obviously I was doing other things. I have commissions and other things I have to deal with, but then also I have to like rewind and do my part, and then sometimes it just doesn't work out right. Like sometimes you kind of did it just slightly wrong where you have to redo it, or you're getting used to the controls. But it's a really cool class. I made the full character. I learned a little bit about some other programs like Substance Painter, which is something that is going to have to be on my resume if I want to be a 3D character artist or 3D animator, in the sense that I want to be. So, kind of getting the start in that program. But yeah, I'm excited to what I was able to do through this class, and what I'm excited about what I'm going to do with these skills that I've learned from this class. So let me go ahead and show you what I was able to do. So this is the character. I'll just show you the video that we animated in class. So this was kind of like just following along, literally step by step. I did do my own kind of creative decisions on certain things. Like the face doesn't look anything like the face that the instructor created, but you can't see that in this video. And then I made this waving animation because I thought it would be cool. I learned enough from the class that I thought I could do that and create the waving animation, and I wanted to do that so that I could implement it on my website, my portfolio website. So I build websites too, so I have some UX and UI and web design skills. So yeah, I just think this is kind of cool. And I already am, this is not perfect, this animation, because one of some of the imperfections you'll see is this little pinch right here at the bicep. The fact that this shield separates from that belt quite a lot, but if you're not paying attention or you're not looking too hard, you wouldn't notice it. But it's literally my first animation, and I'd say it's pretty impressive to me. So what I want to do is take this character, the body, take off, start from scratch on the clothes and the costume. And what I want to do is do like a Aztec warrior, like an eagle warrior for this one time around. Here's a video of some of the process. You can't hear the audio, but oh yeah, and that's the rigging program we use, AccuRig. It's a free program that creates a rig that I guess is not necessarily game ready or anything like that, but it's enough to like get poses out of it, and that was what the goal was for this class, to just pose it and get it ready for that. Did I already show you the? Yeah, I think I showed you both videos. So yeah, now I'm kind of a 3D character artist, at least a beginner in that. And I already have so many ideas. One of those is the Eagle Warrior version of this Gladiator Warrior, and that'll be cool because I don't have to necessarily start from scratch, but I was able to set up the character in a way that I wanted it to use it again for my own creative, purposes. And I already have a bunch of other ideas to sculpt, and so like this is like a sign that this is the right next step, because because it's happening naturally, right? That being said, I guess let me talk about a couple of the things that I want to do. One of them, so I want to make like a cartoon version of myself and do the full like character design in 2D, like the full character design like process, just the character turnaround, the concept art, and something, cartoony, fun, and attractive, nothing too like, I was thinking maybe I could do like a video game style where it's like really rugged and like fantasy, which would be cool. But I think in these beginning parts is it'll be good for me to start a little easier. And then what I want to do is animate it and replace that video that you saw on my portfolio, where this character, for this cartoon version of me, will be the one waving and not the gladiator. So that's two projects already: turning that gladiator into a jaguar warrior, and then turning myself into an animated 3D character and putting that on my website. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped. The next step as far as my education goes is to get into the lock down into the Maya class and finish the Maya class. That is specifically part of moving past the prerequisite classes and saving me some money on the course. So that's on my calendar for this week, and hopefully I can knock it out faster than the last class, because 3 weeks is a lot. But if not, just taking my time. And effectively, since I mentioned that modeling and sculpting are kind of different, and I think I mentioned that Maya seems to be more like the modeling program. Not sure. I'm not that far along in the class yet, but it seems to be, with context clues and explanations, that the Maya part of it is like the animation and the modeling program, while you have to use that in conjunction with ZBrush, which is the sculpting program. So after finishing Maya, I think I'm going to jump into the ZBrush, because there's also a ZBrush class that I can skip over with for the anim school. So I know like I want to do all of this before the end of March because that's when I want to start. And it seems to be that I can do. It seems to me like that I can do that, and it's just a matter of buckling down and doing it. So yeah, I think I wanted to focus mostly on the fact that I finished this class, the fact that I'm moving forward, the fact that I created this character and some animations. I'm pretty pumped, and if you ever want to just like learn this stuff, you see that it's pretty easy to get to the information. Like the actual taking the class is kind of hard because it takes a long time. You gotta just push through it and like be at your desk for hours of the day and be in class, right? But as long as you go through the steps and kind of like remember the process, it's actually kind of easy. So like I don't want to say that these things are easy. It's hard, but it's not hard to get to it, and it's just a matter of time. And I know that's hard for some people, and and the next TUT. If you look, the thing about Skillshare is kind of like you have to like sift through a bunch of different options as far as classes, and that was one of the reasons I didn't continue learning Blender from the beginning. Was I started a class I didn't like. I didn't like the instructor. I didn't like the projects. It was very quickly I was like, okay, I'm not doing this class. But I found this new class. I liked the instructor. I liked his teaching style, and I was making things that were cool to me. And now I'm done with that class, and now I can make a character from scratch if I want to. So stay tuned for more original things from my brain to your screen. And I think that's enough. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you.